Good evening, welcome. So the penultimate game of the Super 8 stage has just gotten over. South Africa, they huffed and puffed a bit, but have won that game versus Zimbabwe by a margin of 5 wickets, which keeps their unblemished record in the tournament as it is.
And we have our first semi-final lineup. It is South Africa versus New Zealand.
That was known. But
No,
if they had lost,
If they had lost, it's now locked. It is South Africa versus New Zealand. England will be awaiting the winner of the India-West Indies encounter.
yeah.
On March 4th, they will play South Africa, New Zealand.
Yeah. So yeah, as I said, close encounter, but South Africa have won, which now allows us to focus entirely on that final group
Before the
game,
final.
the quarter final,
Yes.
before the semi-final, West
Yeah.
Indies versus India. But this particular match as well, at one moment looked like Zimbabwe was winning, and then I was like, oh, teams have started calculating who they want to face and in the semi-final, and so I'd rather face England than New Zealand.
Nope, not happening anymore. Because I thought, see, this is a typical how this T20 World Cup has gone about in the day games in Delhi or anywhere in India. You begin well in the power play, but then you slow down in the 7 to 15 over period. And then they lost all momentum in the death overs. And that is why even South Africa, they had a terrible start in the power play, but then they capitalized in overs 7 to 15. They all Brevis in particular. But I thought it was Zimbabwe versus West Indies. Because South Africa were playing with one gear. It was a 6, out, 4, out. Brevis hit a 6, no need. Single, 2, no. Goes for the big hit.
But I think it would be unfair to West Indies. They showed in their last game that they are not just a 6 and out team.
They
Look at the way they consolidated 6 down pretty early, and then their partnership.
Yeah,
They
but
won't be
that
just 6 and
power
out.
play was much like that, as Siddharth
Yeah.
says. That you didn't understand what that chaos was all about. One moment you're writing about a wicket falling, the next moment you're talking about 2 sixes. Moment after that, there's another wicket. That
was
was
they came from that game where they had hammered Zimbabwe.
254.
They came from that game knowing fully well good pitch, so we'll get a lot of runs, and then they batted. But as soon as they realize, they're in dire straits, from there, then
Yep.
they showed like better awareness and all of that. By the way, it's taken me a full night's sleep to try and shrug off the hangover of the game that happened yesterday, and even then I could not. Actually, I watched the highlights again this morning.
Yes.
Yeah, what a match it was. Because at that time, a lot of things weren't registering, but now that I've looked at the highlights, what a game.
Dasun Shanaka. What a knock.
No, but Dasun Shanaka, I don't know.
That wide. 200% it was a wide.
It was a
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Though, can I tell you honestly, if you remember when we
Yeah.
did our post-match, I said that it wasn't a wide. I'll tell you why. To the naked eye, it looked to me that it was inside the blue line and went out later. First one, that the second last was definitely not, because he moved.
Yeah.
It would have been a wide had he not moved. He moved. But the last one, to the naked eye, when you asked me, I'd said no, I didn't think it was a wide. Then you showed me a still image
Slow-mo.
of that, still image of that delivery, which showed that it was a wide. Then I told you I watched the replay today. Again, to my naked eye, it didn't look like a wide.
Yeah.
It just gave me an illusion that it went from inside the blue line, and it only went outside the blue line after it had crossed the batter. But when you give me a stop freeze frame, that's when I know that no, it is outside the blue line.
Well, I
Asad
haven't-
Malinga was furious. He was having a very animated talk with Dasun Shanaka. What were you doing?
I've been liking the fact that matches here, unlike the matches which will start in 3 weeks' time from now, which will take 4 hours to complete,
4.5.
4.5, oftentimes also cross the midnight mark as well. But yesterday I felt like you needed a little bit of IPL there where whites could have been reviewed. That's primarily the reason you see matches go on to 4 hours, touching the midnight mark. But yeah, that
No, but
called
they
for a
should.
review.
If you have a review, but I don't know whether Sri Lanka would have reviewed anyway, because they had a chance to review Fakhar Zaman's wicket. They didn't review
No,
that.
I think in international cricket you can't review for a wide.
No, I'm saying that's what he's saying. Ideally, he'd want that rule there.
But then why not? I mean, you could have done an Ashwin. Ashwin also tested the rules, right? Please. Why not?
No,
I know
but-
it was
but-
not possible, but yeah.
you
umpire would
can't.
have
Umpire
said
would have said no. Not
But
bad.
I don't think that's what I'm saying. Sri Lanka, when they had a review, also didn't review.
Didn't review it, yeah.
The Fakhar Zaman was out, they didn't review. What were they going to do with that review? Take it home. And he was in his 20s at that time, if I'm not mistaken.
Talking about the bottom edge now.
Yes.
Yeah, he was out.
He
Game
was
could have
on
been very
46.
different. 46 maybe.
Yeah, he was on 46,
Could have
went
been-
on to score another 40 runs.
Could have been a very different game. But again, I know that I'm not going to, we discussed that yesterday, not going to use the dreaded effort very easily. Not the effort that you think I'm talking about. There's another one in the world of cricket that we all know, which has ruined our sport. But still, I looked at the highlights. Sri Lanka so flat in the field, I can't remember the last time. I'm taking nothing away from Pakistan's batting.
The
But
way they were bowling, it felt
bowling
like
was, I can still
they
go like
just
fielding.
didn't want to be in the stadium after a point. It was so
Fielding,
listless.
Fielding.
So listless.
Do you see that drop? Okay, drop catches
Yeah,
happen.
couple of
you
drop
see
catches.
Vella Laga's drop catch. Yeah?
I know.
It
Wow,
felt
wow,
like, you know, people were talking about conspiracy theories. I know Siddharth's also done a video on that conspiracy theory, but there was
Yeah, it was coming to be true. Honestly.
Almost. I said 100.
No, because it's not that Pakistan can't win. It's
Yeah.
not. But the manner in which Sri Lanka were
the
playing.
listless display was just questionable. It
Before-
didn't feel like international level at all.
Before he went, I said, see, they were almost 101 for 5. Almost they were going to commit kamikaze.
What were we talking the other day? This is a team that's going to show up and it's going to play for pride. First half of that match, it felt like the pride word did not exist in the
It didn't
dictionary.
exist in the first innings, and it didn't exist in the first half of the second
They
innings.
removed Dashun Shanaka. That's
Exactly.
it.
Then 3/4 of the second innings.
By the way, Dashun Shanaka is the guy who did both things. That over that he bowls towards the death, which brings them back, and then the batting. Actually, if you take Dashun Shanaka out,
Yes.
This would have been a horrible loss for them.
It should have been like this
5
should have been
runs.
Pakistan through to
It would
the
have been 65.
semi-finals.
Yeah.
it would have been definitely Kudrat.
Kudrat Kandisa. Oh my God.
It's funny though how
I think what
year
Kolkata
after
had
year,
is
you know,
50.
we've been around each other for like 3 T20 World Cups now, and every time this Pakistan somehow remain relevant.
But 24 was the exception. Once they lost to the Netherlands,
24.
it was done and dusted.
But
US,
you know,
US.
for every competition you see, be it the 50 over chalo also they get brushed aside. But T20 World Cup, they find a way of staying relevant. Yeah.
Because again, short of the format, I think
Yeah.
you can always kind of squeeze in a shock result. Here
It is
or
a
there.
lottery format.
Yeah.
Because that's why the gap between the associates and the test playing nations in this particular T20 World Cup, it has kind of come down.
Yeah.
When you look
It's not
at
been
it.
bridged entirely, but
No, it's come
definitely a lot
down. I
lower.
mean, what was like the Grand Canyon, now it has come a bit more closer when you look at it. So,
Okay, toss is going to happen. It's a very important toss because we know that there's going to be dew in Kolkata. That is being reported for the last few days. And because it's a virtual quarterfinal, both teams would like to chase, is, you know, what you can understand. And India have been terribly unlucky with the toss so far. I just hope that law of averages catches up. You see something bright to begin the day with. We'll find out.
Is it?
India has won the toss.
and they will opt to bowl.
Bowl 100%. I would be. How, man? How has that happened? I'm happy, but Surya Kumar Yadav,
Look at
stop
him.
press.
Surjo.
Surya Kumar Yadav has won the toss. I can't believe it.
And they will bowl.
Back to the land of his former franchise.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yep. 2014, if I'm not
So
mistaken.
2014 to 16.
16,
type
yeah.
series, I think, No, 13 to
And
16.
they are
13 to
bowling.
16, yes.
And they are bowling.
Yeah, you couldn't have
Yeah, that's
had a wrong answer here. There's only one option.
By the way, we had gotten a report yesterday from the curator there, and the reports that were emerging. We discussed that in the dugout as well, and all indications were there was going to be a good pelter of a pitch. But I believe it's a black soil pitch that they're using, and I'm again thinking.
Ahmedabad, black soil.
But I don't know. I'm not too. See, every time you've tried to do that, curtail or go into a match thinking we'll lay a trap for the opposition batters, you end up falling in that trap. It's happened again and again and again. Your strength is your batting. You have the best batting lineup on a good batting pitch. Why would you not back that and come up with that 200 kind of pitches that we've seen?
I don't understand this wily
It is the
coyote
same
tendency.
team, by the way.
This
Yeah.
wily coyote tendency of coming up with some acme new trap, which you end up falling into.
Yeah.
So I don't understand. I just don't get it. You could have literally, if you're playing in Kolkata, we know how flat the pitches are. We've been seeing it
Yeah.
in the past couple of
And
years.
small
in
boundary
India.
dimensions.
Small boundary dimensions, flat pitches. It is the kind of wicket where every single one of your batters would have made hay, even with the sun not shining, in a night match.
It's the first night match here, I think.
Yes, I think most of the other games have been day games.
Day games.
No,
Yeah.
wasn't.
I think it's the
Indian
first night
Italy-
No, yeah, England did what was the second match? 3-7.
3-7.
So that's a day-nighter technically, you're
Okay.
right, but not a
That,
night match.
that'll be the interesting bit
That'll be
over
an
here.
interesting bit. But if you look at the margins in the T20 World Cup, it's 3-1 in favor of West Indies. Only once has a team defended. And that was West Indies in 2010, Barbados. They won by 14 runs. You want to know what is the other victory margins that's been there? 7 wickets. First match, Lords, 7 wickets, West Indies. Second match, 14. Third match, 7 wickets. Fourth match, 7 wickets.
Also, correct me if I'm wrong, but West Indies have never lost a T20 World Cup game in Kolkata.
That's right.
Never.
Yeah.
And have a 3-1 advantage
Look.
over India when it comes to T20 World Cup matches.
And there are a lot of similarities between West Indies and India. Both topped the group, respective groups.
2-time champions.
Yes. Both have lost to South Africa. Both have hit 60 plus sixes, both teams. Both have hit 80 plus fours. That is the level of similarity we have.
Both
at
are
this point.
Indies also.
Indies, yeah.
Indies and
Same
Both
Seri
are
Maya.
chasing a record third title. Both
Yeah.
could face the same fate in the sense that
Both are coached by a player who happened to win the World Cup with them.
Yes.
Darren Sammy.
Darren
Gautam
Sammy and
Gambhir.
Gautam Gambhir.
yeah.
Yeah. And Sammy could join a very illustrious list of being one of the few players and managers or coaches to win the T20 World
He'd
Cup.
be the first in T20 World Cups.
First, I believe.
No, but Jeff Marsh
Marsh.
has done it in ODI World Cups.
Yeah.
No, T20 World Cup.
Ah,
only.
T20 is
T20 first.
But ODIs, Jeff Marsh has done it.
Jeff
Also,
Marsh. 87 player, 99 coach.
Elite list, yeah. Sammy will win. Twice he's won it as a player and
Once.
one.
Also, he'll be
Or
like
twice.
a Deschamps
Once
Beckenbauer
as,
type.
coach.
once.
He will be like a Deschamps
Deschamps,
Beckenbauer type.
yeah.
Why? Because captain. He won it not just as a player, but as a captain.
Both times.
Yes, both times he was the captain, and this time as the head
You know,
coach.
that presser of his.
Head coach. Yeah. Pep talk.
On his former
So
home
there
turf.
was there was a pep talk for journalists in Colombo by the coach.
Really?
Oh, obviously, I didn't attend it.
Wow.
So why would I need a pep talk?
What was the pep talk all about?
I have no idea. I didn't attend.
My
Why would there
goodness.
be a pep talk for journalists? What are we
There
supposed to
was.
do?
I don't know.
Cheer us on.
Was it
Become
a pep
cheerleaders.
talk
Pep
or
talk.
a diktat?
A diktat, how can you give a diktat? Yeah?
You can try.
Pep talk, how? You can't say that. How can you give diktat to a pep talk can pass on as still being acceptable?
Yeah, because that's a suggestion.
Yeah.
Dictat means you do it.
Yeah.
Simple as
Exactly. But I mean, I find pep talk also a bit.
much.
Yeah, exactly.
Unneeded. What much?
Yeah, what's the point?
I don't know.
What are the journalists going to do? You have to go out there and play, mate. Simple as.
There was before the Pakistan game.
Pakistan game.
Very fair.
Wow.
It's not Hardik selecting
It's
the
an
ball
extension of.
No, it's Arshdeep.
today. Yeah, usually it's Hardik these days.
Anyway, the Indian team is unchanged, by the way. If we can just go down to what Sky was saying, there's something very interesting. He says, we will bowl first tonight, and I want everyone's opinion on that. He says, looks good. It's been a chasing ground. Wicket gets even better, so chasing is a good option. Now comes it. It's already wild, and we will look to give a good show to the crowd. So he means the crowd is
Even the
wild.
crowd
Yeah.
would be, right?
Acha.
Wild crowd in Kolkata in a World
Yeah.
Cup game. Interesting.
There is a reason why Kolkata always had the marquee ICC finals.
And he also says, I think we ticked all boxes in the last game.
Yeah, last game, yes.
They kind of did.
You know, for some
Zimbabwe,
reason,
sure.
yes,
No.
there were runs.
No. See, the issue is the only problems you encountered last game was that sixth bowling and all. But that's when you mean tick all the boxes or a Varun Chakravarti's form. He was in good form at some time and he's lost form. So if somebody goes out of form, it wouldn't come as tick all the boxes. Tick all the boxes would mean thing that hadn't worked so far, which was your batting coming good and big. That was the final box you needed to tick, and that was ticked. That a box, all boxes tick doesn't mean on a given day everything
Yeah.
was super. The one thing that we had been missing, we ticked that as well, is what his point is.
I felt your batting still wasn't like a 10 on 10 show that they put on that day.
That, what else do you want? Highest score ever in
What,
T20.
300 plus?
No, not 300.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, let's be honest, you got a few favors. You got a few favors in the fielding.
Look at that. Like, come on, you can't.
No, but see, my expectation.
No, it's like
if I'm saying
we
the
take
team.
credit away from Pakistan yesterday for getting. They got a good enough total.
They got a very good total.
Yeah, but if I say no, that they is not reviewed. Sri Lanka
but
was
they
bowling
were-
this.
7 wickets.
Well,
for
it is
Australia.
credit.
It's about
हाँ.
fulfilling potential. To me, it felt that you could have taken it to
बहुत
another
demanding
15.
types हो तुम. बहुत
Yeah,
demanding.
this team
Despite
is
all his teams
capable.
being underwhelming, I don't understand.
You can't
that.
say that
They're
about
the
United
same.
anymore. Last 6
What have you
weeks.
won?
Last 6 weeks, I'm
Last
saying.
6.
No, but you're not this demanding when it comes to Delhi Capitals. There you're saying, I'll take anything, yeah, it's okay, and I'll take these losses. Huh? Now here with this team, you want everything to be like,
Yeah, because they're capable enough. These guys are
Achha,
capable.
there you know the potential is
He's,
not there.
he's
know-
warming up for the IPL now because he's got so many good players in this lineup.
That is
Everybody's
true.
firing.
And all of them are in such good form and they'll all lose their form at the same time.
Yes.
I hope not.
One would actually hope not. Everyone seems to be in good form. By the way, and I really wanted to talk about this, the West Indies have made a very interesting change. Akil Hussain has come in for Brendan King, the opener.
King injury, na?
Yeah, but that's fine. They're opening with Roston Chase.
Yeah.
Roston Chase is opening. Really, we've reached there. This is what they saw what KKR were doing with Sunil Narayan. Like,
But
I want some of that.
I mean, I agree, it's interesting, but I think it's also made their bowling much stronger.
Yes, it has.
Now, you know, with the Roston Chase also there, and they've gotten Akil Hussain. It was either or previously. They've gotten both. So they've got enough spinning options, and I think this is also an indication about the pitch. We know it's a black soil pitch, but it is sort of an indication that it is going to turn in grip.
Yeah.
So India has opted for that pitch. Clearly spooked by the fact that this, if we come up with a flat track, then this West Indies batting lineup will take the game away from us. So keeping that in mind, they have given it some sort of spin-friendly tinge to the pitch. That's why, but on that account as well, West Indies are very well covered, and the team that they are playing ensures that they'll have lots of spin options in their bowling. But yeah, I agree. Roston Chase to open does sound a bit strange, but yeah.
Outrageous. They're hoping just because it's Kolkata and people with bowling attributes, if they're made to open, not everyone turns out to be Sunil Narayan. I'm guessing that's the expectation that they have from Roston Chase. Otherwise, everything looks okay. Everything looks okay.
They
Is
are
he a bit thin on batting today?
No. Akil is their number 9.
Yeah, but Akil, I'm not
He's
too
a-
sure.
yeah, he does bat better.
a
He
little
feels a
bit,
long willow.
But little bit.
I mean, little bit in a comparative sense. Otherwise, if
Yeah,
you're
but
counting till Akil,
I'm like, I think they used to bat much deeper
no, because
earlier.
in the previous game they batted till number 9.
Yeah,
Exactly.
because
But I think
was
Brandon
there,
King is
and
not
Roston
there. That is
hadn't
why.
played the previous match.
And that's what I'm saying.
Chase played the previous
Akil-
match. It was Decock hit him all over the park.
yeah, it was Akil. Who
Oh,
Akil wasn't
I'm
there.
not
Akil
counting
wasn't
Akil
there.
as a batter. So
You are batting till 8 only.
8 is what I'm saying.
Yes.
Compared to what they used to be, and I'm not sure how Matthew Ford has done overall with the bat.
Matthew Ford again can hit the long, can tong the long
Again,
ball.
so for me, like the proper batting is still 7.
Jason Holder.
Jason
Jason
Holder.
Holder, yeah.
Which is for India very different. The complete batting is still 8.
8.
Like proper batting is still 8.
Correct. Aksar Patel.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
And
they're a bit
also-
short.
Also, you are playing the weakest spin bowling lineup. India is potentially playing the weakest because there's no variety. Look at it. Chase, but he's heading into the match low on confidence, having been tonked all over by Quinton de Kock and Ryan Riggleton, or Aiden Markram, sorry. Then look at two left armers.
Yes, that's beautiful.
Yeah. You've got two left armers, Gudakesh Moti and Akil Hussain.
Yeah, but Gudakesh and Akil have been their best winners. You have to play them.
Yeah.
You have
So
to.
you can't.
I agree.
I don't think you could have actually left out that sort of an option.
Also, Siddharth, left arm bowlers, against India, you're backing them to do well.
But with 3 left-handers.
At this moment, right arm of spinners also.
Are doing very well.
Anybody.
Anybody, yes.
Yeah.
Roston might very well be the man of the match, at least with the ball, if not the bat.
Wow.
Yeah.
You've got 5 left-handers for crying out loud.
Yeah. But I think this is a bit of good news. I mean, 2 pieces of good news for India. One, crucial toss to win, they've won it, and they've taken the right call as well, because that's the other thing that's not been happening this World Cup. Winning tosses is okay.
Yes.
Teams have been really, off the mark when it comes to deciding what they want to do. So on both counts, India has done well, and I think when I look at this West Indian team, I think their batting is suddenly, which used to be their strong point, now with a Roston Chase being asked to open and batting till 7 with a Jason Holder, I can see chinks in their batting, and I think on both counts some good news for the Indian team. I'm not sure about the pitch, the black soil pitch that they've come up with. It can on occasions backfire. It can work for you as well, but I'm happy with the team that West Indies has gone in with. Gives India hope.
Exactly, and look, you're going to get first use of this fresh pitch. There might be movement early on, some extra bounce. Because remember, starting, it offers assistance to the bowlers, the black soil wicket. Then it eases out as the game progresses. The key wicket, though, for India will be Shimron Hetmeyer.
Without doubt.
Hetmeyer, it's been a second coming. I mean, what a coming it has been for a guy who missed a T20 World Cup because he missed a flight, to now really setting the stage on fire in 2026. It's been a good comeback for Shimron.
But you know who I actually worry about mostly, and it happens versus India. It's not usually, it won't be the Shea Hopes or the Hetmeyer, the most obvious one. It'll be a Rovman Powell, a Shafane Rutherford, a Romario Shepherd, or a Jason Holder, or a Matthew Ford. You're right. These are the kind of players that, because we end up focusing on one or two, the Shea Hopes, as I said, and Shimron Hetmeyers of the world, and then
somebody else will be out of syllabus.
Always.
That's what happens.
And Romario Shepherd, remember, he's gotten a hat-trick here and a 5-wicket haul.
For Rovman, this is technically his home ground.
Yes, KKR. Yep. And
Same for Varun.
Yes.
And you'd hope that perhaps his best bowling spell can come here
today.
now.
Yeah, he loves bowling here anyway. Even on those roads, he used to be getting you wickets. So
I mean, it's a bit harsh that we are saying that Varun is not living up to the form. He's got 10 plus wickets here. Economy rate is 7.2.
The last two games.
Yeah, but the standards that he set is so high.
The South Africa match was a bummer.
Horribly high. That's the problem. This is what always happens. It's called suffering from success. It's even the Jasprit Bumrah thing. He was going for 30 runs and we're like, oh, Bumrah's underperforming. Any other bowler's giving me 30 runs in 4 overs, I'll take it with my eyes shut. But because it's Bumrah, I expect 20.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
Yeah, 6 minus
because
11
I go into the game thinking like 16 overs, I have to be careful. These 4, I know I'm not going to give any more than 20. But then if it becomes 30, it just throws my plans, na?
Correct.
Completely, or I don't know what to do now.
Correct.
Because in 24, I think he had an economy rate of 6. That is why I'm like, whoa, now he's gone at 7 per over. Man, this is a shocker. That's the thing. Varun and Bumrah have spoilt us. That is the thing. Because even 11 wickets at an average of 13, it is just like his T20I career. But those 2 games, when Zimbabwe played him out pretty comfortably, and South Africa, Deval Brevis stormed him all over the park. So,
India's made no changes.
Around what I expected. I didn't think. I think now they've realized, okay, this is a combination that kind of works for us. Gives us 3 right-handers, 8 batting. We'll be okay without a finish.
I agree in terms of batting. I don't think any one of us expected any changes. Many thought that maybe you might do some changes to the bowling. And now that we know it's a black soil pitch where
Kuldeep.
Yeah, so
plus he also has a great record in Kolkata. He's got a hat-trick, if I'm not mistaken, in an ODI.
Yes.
Or 2. Same venue, I think he's got 2.
Oh, I know 1 for sure.
Oh, maybe one was in Vizag. Maybe. Yeah, he's got a great record here. So, but who will you keep out?
Yeah, I mean there were many suggestions. Yeah, do that with a black soil pitch, or many even suggested get a Washi in place of a Tilak. Remember those suggestions were made, which gives you another spin bowling option on a black soil pitch. But glad to know that the Indian team has made no changes. So I have a feeling that it might still be a good pitch to bat on. And also remember, the reason that they have not gone for a spinner is because Kolkata, apart from how the surface might be, the overall conditions offer, the rivers just next to the stadium, there's a lot of moisture, there's going to be dew there. Fast bowlers really get that ball to move initially. It offers good bounce, even though, as I said, it's a black soil pitch. So I remember Jofra Archer had a good game here in
Scotland.
He had a good game. So even for fast bowlers, there's enough, especially with the new ball. So I think that also must be in the mind of the Indian team. Bumrah definitely will play, and Arshdeep can, when the ball is moving, becomes very dangerous. So you can't avoid him. So
Extra bounce and
I
Hardik
think-
comes into the picture. Because
Correct,
he is the hit the deck bowler, and that is why this extra bounce. Remember, it was he who got rid of Saibzada Farhan with a ball that really leapt up from the wicket.
Yes.
So it's really, really good at this point in time.
okay, so the pitch report said that it's got live grass, so not like just grass thrown there, which is good news, which is why I'm saying that fast bowlers, a bit of movement might help. One end is a little drier than the other. That's very interesting. So you know which end the spinners are going to be operating from, with less grass as well. This is the swastika being,
I was about to say that.
being made again. But generally speaking, it's expected to be a 6-inning paradise, which will be something that both teams will relish with the kind of batting lineup that they have. So that is what you expect. So lots of sixes, some big runs being scored. One end is drier, so you know where Akshar and Varun will bowl, and the other end.
Mostly, I think the spinners, even in the IPL, when you look at it, if you look at Narayan Chakravarti where they bowl, I think it's from the press box end. That seems to be a bit more
Longer
drier.
boundary
Longer
also.
boundary, yeah, that is the thing. But no, but I think the press box end has longer straight boundaries, but I think the
Square
leg side
boundary,
boundaries
yeah.
are shorter. That is the problem that you got. But I remember if you bowl stump to stump, I think this is where Chakravarti will excel. And Ryan Tendeskate did mention that he is our prime attacker in Kolkata. Varun Chakravarti has been given this new role of being the attacker from the get-go.
I'm just thinking on the sidelines, if we all could, sort of guess that winning combination you're not disturbing and this is going to be the same team that you fielded in the previous match, could Rinku have been allowed bereavement?
See, so Rinku is there, but I'll tell you, see, again, that's what a lot of people have been talking about. I think you must remember that they wouldn't have gotten Rinku saying that, listen, this is a tournament you need to report. As far as I got to know is that Rinku himself said that he wants to be part of the team on both occasions. He wanted to come back to Chennai, he wanted to come here. Much as I keep giving that example of Virat when he played that Ranji Trophy game, he was allowed to make that decision. He said, no, I want to play.
Even like Siraj, I think.
Siraj as well. He could not travel because that time I think it was the
COVID
corona,
restrictions,
so
yeah.
he couldn't go and come back.
Even Dhoni in 2015
No.
for the birth of his
Yes, kid. He didn't go.
He didn't go.
2015 World Cup before that. But here in this case, I believe Rinku was asked, and Rinku himself has said he wants to be with the team. And now if you look at it from, many people are saying, but if you're not going to play him, you can tell him in advance and then you can decide. But as I said, there is a utility of Rinku that let's not forget. One, they're going to be using him as a fielder, 100%. They used him in the last game as well.
Yes.
So if the rules allow you to do that, and they do it very smartly, Rinku is saving you good 5-10 runs, and you sometime 1 or 2 catches here and there change the course of the match. So he's important there. And then I always say that because it's a World Cup, you only have a 15-member squad. On the day of the match, during warm-up, there have been times where there's been an injury. Last moment, let's say there's an injury to a Dubey or a Tilak or someone.
Yeah.
You may want to go to Rinku rather than Washi, right? Why compromise on that? So you always need that player to be there. So if you ask Indian team, would they want Rinku with them even though he's not playing in the 11? The short answer is yes, because he's giving us 2 different dimensions. One as a fielder and as that backup, just in case there's some serious injury before the game. And it's happened so many times in most sports. It happens in football so many times in warm-ups. It's happened in cricket as well, many times.
I mean, India were so, dented in the 2023 World Cup.
Even
When Hardik got injured against Bangladesh.
2023 Asia Cup, KL Rahul, I think, wasn't supposed to play that match, right? When he didn't even come to the stadium with his kit.
Shreyas Iyer, the match where he was supposed to come back, and then
Shreyas had a last minute
And then
back
the
spasm.
kid had
and
to
then
be-
KL came in.
Yeah.
That was out. Against Pakistan.
these things-
Many times it's happened. Just before the match, I think Ridhiman Saha, there was an incident where he got into test match or something. If I can remember, I can't remember exactly.
So many
where I
football
left it.
stories also.
Football also,
how many people
Football
get
was
injured in the World
made
Cup?
the evil at that time, I remember.
yeah. So it happens quite
Rohit Sharma. He got, I think on the day of his test debut, he twisted his ankle.
often. I think so.
That was the Nagpur game. I think Ridhiman Saha came in.
Saha, that's the one.
Nagpur.
And Saha got to play.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
Correct.
That is the one.
That's the one. Yeah. So that's why I'm saying I understand, and a lot of people were having a go at the Indian team management, but you got to see the context of why or how it's happening.
Because you only have 3 games now, potentially.
Yeah.
This
Three is
semi-final and final.
Max.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that is why you don't want to take any chances. You are on a prayer then that please don't get injured in any way possible. So yeah, it's better that you carry him along, and he himself has said that team first. Later on, when there is time, see now after that you have a 20-day break until the IPL. Yes, 1 week prior to that you'll come for the camp, you'll do all the things, and that I think will put him in the right mental space then for tougher challenges in March, April, May.
Precisely 20 days.
Okay, we're going to do our predictions, but before we do our prediction, let's take a few quick comments.
Steve Ticklow says that Nick sir, phrase it correctly, there was pep talk for cake eating journalists by our coach. Those journalists put out tweet after every win crediting
Steve,
the coach.
just to let you know, I know what you're trying to get at.
Yes.
A lot of those journalists that you're pointing to are not there as well in Colombo.
Correct.
But
Few were there.
I'm not actually pointing fingers at anyone. That's absolutely fine. But I'm just saying that do journalists need a pep talk
Exactly.
by a team's coach? Generally, I'm just saying.
Yep.
Huh? Yeah,
Not
it
at
just
all.
doesn't
Only
add up.
casual talk is okay.
Yeah, that's okay. Oh, what's
But
happening?
why a pep talk? I just don't
Huh,
understand.
or phrase it correctly, not a pep talk. Just caught up.
Caught up.
That's fine. That's our job. We need some insight, and not all conversations are on the record. So off the record, you meet,
Yeah.
you have a few questions you want to ask, and he might offer some insights. That's
Correct.
That happens so many times. So many times it happens. So
Of
I think
course.
the phrasing of the word was wrong.
Correct.
Not pep. Caught up.
Caught up.
A bunch of journalists caught up with the Indian coach Gautam. It makes perfect sense.
Perfect.
Exactly what it's the job of the journalist also to be in touch with the people that they're covering, so that there is a interaction all the time.
You don't
There's
get-
some flow of information.
Correct.
Yeah.
Understand?
Correct
Not
reportage.
everything, as I said, has to be on camera, right, or record.
Yeah.
Familiarity factor.
No, understanding some things you want to know. What is his thing?
Rapport,
What
yes.
is the status with that player? What is happening? What do you think India's plans are in the next, after this? Would you have a camp? Is the team going to be off? Those you want to know, have information, right? It works.
Like when I was in Ahmedabad, the day that India practiced at night, Jasprit was very kind enough to give good 15-20 minutes of his time, and he was talking to us. There was Kuldeep as well. We talked football with him, and of course a bit of cricket as well. But
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
not going to call that a pep talk.
Not a pep talk.
Yeah.
It's
That's
a
it,
friendly chat. You got up with a
It's
friendly
just a
chat.
friendly chat.
Chat.
Just for example,
Doesn't have to be friendly also.
I
That's
asked-
my point. Is.
I asked him.
In that chat, you can actually ask some unfriendly questions.
Yeah,
It doesn't have to be friendly.
Since we started talking about football with him, I was like, okay, this is the first time we're meeting since you met Messi. How was that for you? He had very nicely waxed hands at that time, and he was like, "Abhi yahan dikhega nahi, but goosebumps aa gaye the."
Oh yeah. He's a crazy.
Crazy
Oh,
football.
his insights about
he has tactical information.
Information.
He was trying to teach Ruben Amorim also.
that day he was like, this Bellingham and all overrated players. He's like, you get that Anderson fellow from Nottingham.
I know.
Yeah, he like get him, put him in Real Madrid or a good team. He's going to be shaking things up, and
He, like a lot of cricketers who say that if they were born again, they wouldn't play cricket, they'd play golf.
Yeah.
Kuldeep, it's like if I
Football.
could, then if not as a player, he'd want to be in like coaching or like that.
they say he
Do his
discussed
A-levels
tactics
and-
with Beckham as well, na, in that
Yeah,
semi-final
yeah.
of the World Cup.
He's a Madridista, right?
No,
No,
Barca.
he likes
Oh.
Barca. But he watches a lot of football.
Football, yeah.
I'm telling you, he was trying to teach Amorim
he was, so there was a 1:30 game the night before. I failed to recall which one it was, and he watched it.
course he
He
watches
watches it.
I've
Not
seen
that,
him on
like a lot of
live
us
streams and
watch only, like for now I don't have too much time, so only watching only
Barcelona
Barcelona.
matches,
Yeah.
yes.
But he will watch everything.
Everything. Yeah. Proper football.
You to watch.
Like how a lot of us are when it comes to cricket. We're watching every match.
Yes.
Right? It's like that.
Pretty sure he would have watched Leeds versus City yesterday night.
Of course he did.
Yeah. A lot of people, some watch all hockey games, some watch all chess
Those
games.
that breed is.
Rare.
Very rare, yeah.
Though I watched all the hockey games this time.
Yeah. All the penalty shootouts.
Yeah.
I know
all
somebody who
went to
watches a
penalty
lot of cricket, a lot of chess, a lot of badminton, a lot of shooting. Everything under the sun this man watches.
Movies from 90s also.
Everything.
Bollywood films.
He knows dialogues. He'll never feel
But
the heat.
I'm trumped in that by one more individual. Pawan Raj Singh. No one has that much
No,
information.
he doesn't watch chess.
No, but 90s films, man. He's an encyclopedia on that.
Achha, you understood I was talking about you.
I know that. I know that.
Wasn't that hard to figure? And it is indeed Roston Chase, by the way, who's come out to open.
Of course.
Ah,
Rakesh
but we
Bhushan.
should- Said earlier.
No, I'm saying I just thought sometimes the team
Team sheet. Yeah.
like Nandre Burger.
Rakesh Bhushan. This is what World Cup matches does in bilaterals. You will beat 9 out of 10 times this West Indies
Correct.
team, and here the pressure is enormous on Indian players. Nikhil, who is your Virat Kohli in today's match? Cool and calm
But
player.
Rakesh, I completely agree with the first point that he makes. Like, this is bilaterals, completely different way. This is an ICC game, knockout, no less. And that too, you're playing at home, you're the favourites. So 100% India going in with a lot more pressure. But the other side to that is, I think this team and the individuals that are playing here also know how to handle pressure. They've played some really big games in the past. And one other thing that's on a larger thing, because IPLs become so important, so many of these players may not have played at an international level, but believe you me, nowadays some IPL games carry same amount of pressure.
Yeah.
You may agree or disagree with that, but if you ask the players, they'll tell you. So that also helps them handle those pressure, like must win 2 games, 3 games, they go in with that pressure, and that
On
kind
that
of
run rate kind of wins.
yeah, so they have that, and so I think that India on more, and I agree with him that most occasions these two teams in a bilateral you would pick India, because in an ICC game knockout anything can happen. Completely agreed. But who would be the Virat Kohli in today's match for India? That's a very, very good question. See, if it Rohit Sharma was there, I would have said that Eden Gardens,
Sky.
You go Sky. Good,
I'm
good
going
call.
Sky as well.
You're also going Sky.
Sanju.
You're going Sanju. I'm
Probably
going.
another X cake, yeah?
I am going. Aksar.
Aksar. Bapu. Bapu. Good shout.
Yeah.
Rakesh Bhushan again. Let's go down, Shivam. Batting first. Oops. Okay.
Scroll slightly lower.
Slightly low, yeah.
There we go.
Batting first, putting a total in a high pressure knockout match is the best recipe. But India decided to chase. Is it a disaster, or do you think India has the ammunition to chase in such high stake encounter?
Due factor.
Due factor. You don't
Sole
want to.
reason.
Agreed.
And I think you
think
back
if-
yourselves to chase as well.
Yeah. Because see, it can really go out of your control when the dew comes in. You feel helpless. See, yesterday's game. I'm taking nothing away from Dasun Shanaka, but conditions were completely,
Different.
very different, and that's why I was surprised Sri Lanka batted the way they did.
Yeah.
Yes.
There were great conditions to bat on. If you would apply to yourself, everyone applied themselves, they would have won that game easily.
Especially Patum. I was surprised. He
Yeah,
seemed
yeah.
very circumspect.
No, but I think, that shot that brought about his dismissal was because of he had played, I think, 5-6 deliveries.
Exactly.
and
So he went for a
yeah. So that pressure
He
just
was beaten by the change of pace suddenly from Naseem. He just had to
it was a
pop it.
pre-decided sort of a shot. He backed
Correct.
off and was ready to hit it through the offside. And good on Naseem, that slower ball really
Yeah,
did him
Good
in.
slow ball.
Also, West Indies due 2016.
Yeah.
You don't want to be bowling
Correct.
second.
But remember, India's only loss has come while chasing in this T20 World Cup. Remember that against South Africa.
Yeah.
So that you have to be very careful of. But the other stat is, whenever West Indies have batted first in a T20 in India, against India, they have never won. They have never won.
Wow.
Yes.
That's true. Actually, chases
Wow.
they've not beaten India.
In India.
Defenses, rather.
Yeah. Ritvika saying would really love a weekly show on F1 and football. Well, F1 season starting next week.
These guys, football, I've told them, they only keep talking amongst themselves all the time. Show they don't do.
Yeah.
I'm down for doing a show, honestly.
So you should do, Harshit, you should do an EPL show.
Yeah.
Or actually it could be a football show.
Just general.
Because if Champions League is on, how will you just focus on EPL? Right?
Maybe we can make it a Monday type thing. By the way, Ritvika, if you like F1,
Yeah, Monday, Tuesday.
No,
are
no,
good
it
picks.
should run on a weekend.
but then the matches finish on the weekend. No, it has to be Monday.
Yeah.
So
Monday.
Monday, do
Also-
every Monday.
Although
Yeah.
Monday makes sense. We're both in anyway.
Yeah, Monday, Tuesday are best days.
Not necessary all the time.
There'll be all of 10 days in the entire calendar year. 11th day, I am.
Anshu knows.
I'm telling you, see, if India make it on the 8th, and if you win, I'm not having an off on 9th. That's for sure.
That India won the.
Never know.
Never know.
Oh, when we won on June.
What happened the time that India won against Pakistan 2 weeks back?
2 weeks back, but then that was a league game.
So
Anyway, if India win today,
Yeah.
we may have to look at a 6-day week also.
Yes.
Quite likely.
Because of final,
Sure.
semi-final.
Quite likely. That's what I was thinking.
Indeed.
That sort of a week it will be.
Yes.
But by the way, F1, Ritvika, since you're mentioning, there's an Arvid Lindblad interview which should be up. You can check that.
Even the Karun Chandok.
Karun Chandok interview plus.
I sent it to one of my friends who was arguing with me on F1. So I said, don't argue. Listen to Karun Chandok. I sent him the link.
Karun Chandok.
Yeah. Karun, by the way, great speaker.
Amazing.
Superb.
I first interviewed him even before he made his F1 debut. When he was doing Asia Need for Speed. It used to be a thing. Yeah. And when I first interviewed him, and then subsequently when he was going through his journey, and every time I would say that obviously he didn't like that much. I was like, I'm a bigger fan of your analysis than I am of your driving. Obviously it didn't
register well.
Yeah, because with that time he is aspiring to be like, but I guess now if he was to look back, and you can clearly see that as a commentator he is phenomenal. I'll never forget. I'll tell you, I always talk about the 2008 the final race where Lewis Hamilton won.
Exactly.
He's the one who caught it.
Yes. No. I think Timo Glock slowed down.
Correct.
I'm telling you, it was an epic
so
moment.
sharp. He was keeping a track, and everyone else in the commentary thought it was done and dusted. Overseas as well. He is very sharp.
Yeah. Although I think Martin Brundle, I think he waited. No, I think Glock. Is that Glock? I remember that particular.
I think they all realized when they saw Nicole Scherzinger celebrate.
Yes.
And they were wondering why she's celebrating.
Yeah.
Correct.
And then they figured
Massa
out.
was the champion for 20 seconds.
20 seconds.
That's it. Yeah. Poor guy.
Poor guy.
Rakesh Bhushan, Nikhil, please don't rely on pitch report by commentators and press conference of Ryan Tendescate. Like Indian pitches, you don't know which way they will
I
turn.
100% agree with Rakesh Bhushan.
We've seen some
100%.
really bad pitch reports in recent times.
But to be fair, I've been listening to some of these commentators who themselves have said that we spent so many years of playing cricket, this and that, and yet can never get the pitch report right. So they've been making,
But let's cut
fun of
Ryan
themselves.
Tendescate some slack. He was the first one to tell us that Sanju Samson will be talked about.
Yes.
He's at least honest.
One time, yeah.
No, he comes and says it.
He criticized Sky's captaincy.
Yeah.
Another KKR product.
Yeah. Both as
Yes.
a player and as a coach.
Coach.
Ryan 10.
Ryan 10.
Manav Kaushal. As Mohammad Amir says, it's a do
And
and
die
die
match.
match.
Getting trolled for it.
Do and die.
Yes.
Karo or maro.
Oh, goodness.
So I was telling you, Amir said, I don't care if this one.
Like in India?
He said, I don't care if, because for the Pakistan match he said, I don't know about Pakistan making it. I would want Pakistan to make it, but as long as India doesn't make it, I'm happy. He had said it. On the same program, on Jio, I was watching, Ahmad Shehzad has said that, and then because the Pakistan game got over, that particular show I saw, and Amir said that, okay, fine, Pakistan didn't make it, but India is not making it, West Indies. So Ahmad Shehzad asked, Ahmad Shehzad said India is making it, and he's predicted in a way, and he said, if India doesn't make it, it'll be my last day on this show.
Yes.
He said, I'll never come on the show if India don't make. That's
Baba, right? That is his nickname in that show. Mohammad Amir's Baba.
Baba.
Baba, yes.
So, and then Rashid Latif is in the center,
center,
and then
yeah.
he was asked, and he wasn't as bullish as Ahmad Shehzad, neither as negative as Amir, but he said, I'll back India. I think they'll win this game. They're a better team.
Indeed.
But he was quite balanced in his comment. Ahmad Shehzad said, it's a big statement. I don't think any Indian expert would have been that confident.
Putting the broadcast career on the line.
Exactly.
He said,
Yeah, but
India
he's been
don't.
pretty good.
No, Ahmed Shahzad is very sharp.
Sharp
His
guy,
cricketing
yeah.
knowledge is. See, earlier he used to get trolled because people said that because he used to go after Babar and all that,
Yeah.
and people said because he was sidelined by this group.
He was the first next Kohli who got sidelined.
Correct. So they said because of that he's anda, but then all of his prophecies have come true.
Shockingly true.
But everyone used to say Shadab and Babar and everyone used to go after. He's the one who's been proven right now.
Indeed.
But his cricketing knowledge is good. His win and learn, went viral.
Yes, win and learn.
या तो
Oh God.
learn ही learn हो रहा है win कब होगा?
Win कहाँ हो रहा है? होए जा रहा है.
I like that presenter guy also. Where one time he trolled Rizwan.
Tabish, हाँ.
Tabish. He's like, अरे मैं नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, हिंदी बोलना चाहिए, उर्दू ही बोल दो, लेकिन कुछ सेंस तो ये सुनिए यार. And then he played that one where he's talking something in English. Yeah, was it circumstance? How they are there? ये क्या बोल रहे हैं? आप ही बताइए.
It's all these shows that have made me realize that there's nothing better than self-deprecating humor.
Yeah.
But I have said this many times. Pakistanis do it better than anyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like if India were to lose, we'll be critical, but we won't make fun of our team.
Yeah,
the way they just go.
We'll at best be bitter about it.
We'll say this could have been done better. This
Like, unfiltered, unhinged, full self-deprecating, self-destruction they get into.
Them and of course the precursors from a football perspective, Arsenal Fan TV. Or they're now on AFTV.
Yeah. Who's that player who said that I don't watch stuff, that's
I think it was Xhaka, maybe.
that's built on the downfall of somebody.
It might have been Xhaka when he was the captain. They were. I loved watching whenever they lost Arsenal. There'll always be one guy having a meltdown.
Could be
It's not good enough, blood. It's not good
tonight is Arsenal. Chelsea.
Please, don't say it. I don't.
Tonight's Arsenal Chelsea.
I do not want to think.
Shane, what side of the screen would you be on? What screen would you be on?
As long as when the show is happening, if
There's
I
no
see another screen that is put here,
Yes.
I will take that thing, and I also watch it when I'm not here. I'm watching the shows.
Exactly.
Okay, we had a poll up, and the question was very simple: who do you think will win today's match? And 62% have gone with India. Before we wind up, the game's started. We'll have our quick predictions.
West Indies 170, but India are chasing it too.
Okay.
Semi-final, England versus India.
185, India win.
I'm expecting a narrow game. I'll go West Indies 171. Yeah, but it won't be a straightforward chase for India, I think. They're winning.
I'm going West Indies 180 and India winning it.
But off camera, Shane, you had very bad thoughts about, oh man, this match isn't giving me...
It wasn't giving me good vibes, but again, basis how the pitch is playing, I think.
And the toss,
Toss.
11, all of those things.
If West Indies are
I
bowling,
told
might have a
you,
different-
the astrology website I was checking out, they predicted a West Indies.
West Indies win, yeah.
That came up on my Instagram as well.
No, I saw it on Google, not on
I
Insta.
saw this woman with a laptop and she said...
No, I read an article.
Oh.
So based on the charts and stuff like that, I read an article.
Some
It came on
Saturn
my-
thing is this thing on
something like I didn't read the details of that. I just wanted to know because I don't understand.
I was halfway through,
the
like,
only-
let me not fall for all this, yeah.
Yeah, neither do I.
Also,
But
I
I'm just
don't
saying
didn't want my algo to get compromised.
See, basically the one prediction that has gone viral, in March 2025, one astrologer predicted massive escalation in the Middle East will happen in February, March 2026.
that, yeah, somehow or the other, when it happens, some old thing
It happened.
comes back.
the India Today guy.
Oh yes.
Aaj tak hai.
He did.
Afghanistan, he had predicted. Yeah.
He did.
What is he predicted for India West Indies? The Panditji, in-house Panditji there. No idea. We don't know. But I told you the charts are the same. The reading of the charts. I read it.
Oh, short.
So yeah, okay, guys, take care. Looking forward to your company mid innings.
Mid innings.
It's a big day, and of course post match. So
Indeed. Bye bye. See
take
you
care.
soon.
So
Indeed. Bye bye. See
take
you
care.
soon.